Good morning and welcome to the interview segment of the Morning Drive on Providence Television International. My name is Agbebaku. On the interview segment this morning, we'll be looking at quite a sensitive issue. The Edo-Guba elections comes up in just a few days' time. We're counting just about like 5 days to Saturday, and we'll be discussing playing politics the fair way. And with us in the studio this morning, I have a political analyst, Barrister Joe Agbebaku. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And so, we will go straight to burning issues. Over time, we have seen that elections in the states, not just the states, in general, Nigeria, yes, as a country, we've always had issues as regards Togri, issues as regards banditry, arson. And this comes from not playing politics the fair way. From your own point of view, do you think that it is possible to play politics the fair way in Nigeria?
Yes, it's very possible. And it has to do more with the actors. When I mean actors, the leaders of the political parties. So if they can have that perception in mind and they want to do it genuinely and sincerely, we can actually achieve it. Because whatever instruction they give to the people down there is what they carry out.
So you're saying that the political actors are the ones who are to blame for
such?
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. Because if, because I'm a grassrooter, I do my politics from the grassroots. So over time I've seen that if the leaders, if they don't give them the go-ahead, whether expressly or impliedly, those people that carry out those talks and all of that, they won't do that. I say expressly because there is a situation whereby they will tell them to go and do it. There's another situation whereby they will allow them to do it and they will not consult them. So that is impliedly giving them the go ahead. Like if I have loyalists, people that are loyal to me now, I hear that they are about to carry out an act, and I know that this thing is not good for us and is not fair, I'll call them to order. Or if they have even made a move before I heard, I'll call them to order and say, no, don't go, withdraw. So if they have that thing in mind and sincerely these leaders want to do it, you can achieve it. There's no talk that doesn't have a leader in this country. There's no talk. They don't act on their own. They act for and on behalf of some leaders. So that's why I said that the task to start from the leaders, the actors, the main actors in it.
Okay, going from the ambits of the law, you as a barrister, we have seen situations exactly when it comes to campaigns where most of these actors, they do not come out to give a manifesto, but they don't have personal issues. They don't discuss, so most of the time unprintable words. And from the ambits of the law, is there any action that can be taken? Can such political actors be sued?
No, there is no particular law that mandates election candidates or aspirants to come out and present their manifesto.
No, we're not talking about manifestos. We're talking about this situation where you now have an individual from Party A talking about the personal life of another individual from Party B who is vying.
No, there's no law. You have to, in practice, you have to actually, you don't only have to talk about yourself. You have to talk about the weak points of the other one. There's no law, provided there is no defamation of the other person.
And that's exactly what we're saying.
When there is defamation, of course, you can bring action. Okay. You can bring action in thoughts.
But we see that happening most of the time. When you now start to talk
maybe they want it to, because probably the person that is being attacked has also attacked. So he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. So if you have a video clip of you defending Party A, you cannot also go at the end of the day and say that A, B defend me. Do you understand? So it now becomes fair on both parties. Okay. So that is maybe the reason why they don't take legal actions.
Okay. And
sometimes you see that I can say maybe it's ignorant of the law. They will say that it's the way it is in politics.
But from your own
defamation thought, there is no excuse to it. Once you can prove that there is defamation, you can bring a thought action against that person. There's no exception to it, whether it's because of you are campaigning or no. That doesn't give you any right to defame
the character
of an individual.
And so from what you are saying now, that means it is not a healthy practice.
No, it's not a healthy practice. No, it's not a healthy practice. I've never been in support of it. If you want to talk about your opponent, talk about your opponent fairly. There are a lot of things you can talk about your opponent. There are a lot of weakness you can bring out from your opponent without going. You can go personal. Defamation is different from going personal.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But when you defame now, you are making false allegation against somebody. You are making false impression against somebody. So when you can't prove that justifiably, you are liable in thought action.
Okay.
If that person takes it on you.
Okay.
But they don't do that actually. They don't actually activate that aspect of the laws.
Okay.
So you can understand it's the part of the country we are. It's the part of the world that we are. Anything can go.
Okay.
But we have also seen that. We have also seen that even in the course of campaign, people have threatened. Even if they are not going to carry out legal action, we've seen whereby they will use their lawyers to write a withdrawal or cease and desist letter. Okay. There's what we call cease and desist letter. You see them writing it to the party and say, no, look, you have to withdraw that statement. Okay. Otherwise, you may have seen it before. You say, otherwise, I'm going to take a legal action. Okay. We have seen that a lot. They will say that, okay, go and publish it in newspaper and all of that. And that may be the end of it. It may not get to the court. We've seen that also in this political practice.
Okay.
I'm very sure that we've seen it. Even in this one that we are doing, we have seen it.
You talked about coming from the grassroots, being a grassroots politician.
Yes.
And to that effect, you find out that the youths are always the ones who are used when it comes to such things as banditry. That's when it comes to destructive tendencies during elections.
Yes. When I was laying a foundation to this discussion, I actually made mention of it, that thugs and youths and loyal people to these leaders are the ones that are being used. And I know that. I've contested the election before. I contested as a House of Rep aspirant in my constituency. That was in last year, 2023. So when I said that I'm coming from the grassroots, I understand the way, and of course I'm coming from the youth community. Okay. I'm a youth, so I sit with them every day. I know what they talk about, and I can tell you vehemently that they don't carry out action on their own.
Okay.
It is from the leaders' instruction they carry out action. Okay. So that is why, if you want to address the issue, if you are addressing the issue, arresting the youth and doing all of that, it won't solve it. The leaders have to be sincere with themselves and say that, look, we have to stop this.
As a grassroots politician, what are your expectations from Saturday's elections?
Of course, I always speak on from my own side, but fairly, I don't think there is a close case here. The PDP candidates and the PDP, they are actually way beyond the other parties.
No. But that is your personal. That is your personal.
You actually asked for my personal opinion.
No, I talked about the level of preparedness as regards, first of all, the INEC and the civil populace. As regards the elections, your expectations, yes.
The anxiety is there. People want to come out to vote. And you can see it from the people's perspective. They are actually anticipating for the election. They want to carry out their vote. So for the security, I'm not a security expert, but I'm aware that from what I've gathered, that they are going to deploy a lot of police and all of that, security outfits for the election, and it's very, very necessary to make sure that peace is maintained. So on the aspect of INEC, we just hope that they will be fair and not manipulated. But people are going to vote. Although people are enlightened, and when it comes to vote, I give them a thumb up. They are very enlightened, especially when it comes to vote. So we are not going to expect anything less than that. People will come out. The turn up will be good. Because of the anxiety out there.
Because of the anxiety.
Yes, people want to.
And now, without going too personal, I heard you mention a political party, and from the ambits of the law, you actually trying to expatiate on something. This situation where you have like about more than 16 or more than 16 political parties.
Yeah.
You have a party, you have a, and then from those 16 political parties, you have about like 3 being the major political parties. Yes, I agree, it is their right to
contest.
But do you see it as being healthy to have so many political parties in participation?
Yes, Nigeria does not practice a two-party system, so it gives them room to participate.
Even if the parties have like about 3 or 4 individuals in their
of course, there are so many reasons why people come out to say they want to contest. Maybe to improve their CV, their resume.
Okay.
Maybe to get to know the people in anticipation of what they want to do in the future. Okay. So you wouldn't want to take it away from them. I have studied them. I have interviewed some persons, and I know that they don't just campaign or contest because they want to fill in the gap. But then there are so many reasons why they want to. So you give them the law already permit them to do it. So you allow them to try and understand the political terrain. Somebody that is coming from the US or from the diaspora and wants to come and contest maybe in 2027, he may be advised to say, oh, why don't you just give it a try in maybe an independent party or whatever party they may call it. Then try to understand each senatorial district, each ward. Then maybe get to have structures in these places, even if it's one person per ward that you have. Then in anticipation of 2027, then after then maybe they will switch camp to. I'm just giving you reason why these people should be allowed to try their luck, or to try to, since the law allowed them to go there. So they should not be blamed for it, or they should not be disallowed from doing the kind. It's their civic responsibility actually.
And yes, talking about civic responsibility, on Saturday,
yes,
your expectations from INEC?
I said my expectation. I expect them to be fair. I expect INEC to be fair. So sincerely, I think even when people were writing down or giving them a thumbs down in the last general election, I think to a very large extent there was improvement from our perspective.
Okay.
Yes, there was improvement, and we can also we can always improve on that. So I expect them to be fair, and if they are fair, the election will go well.
And let us look at let us look at this issue of security. A situation. If you heard the news some few days ago,
yes,
quite a large number of policemen are to be detailed down to.
Yeah, I made mention of that.
Yes, I think to the tune of about 25,000.
I think they are able to 30,000.
About 30,000 or so of them to be deployed to Edo State. And then, putting that aside, a situation where you have the military also having to come in during elections, is this healthy?
Military coming in during election, you see, there are some areas that actually, from my experience, there are some areas that actually go very go beyond the power of the police to control. I've seen it. So we've had some situation before that I've witnessed. In that case, it was military men that came in to come and address the situation. But what I know that is that even if military men are around, they are not to be going to the police unit or to the field. They are just to hang around, maybe at the entrance or exit of the communities.
Okay.
That is what I know that they do, or they ought to be doing.
Okay.
And which is actually good, because you cannot take away the aspect of insecurity in the land. So people may also take advantage of that, or criminals may also take advantage of that to come into these communities, to come and cause chaos and all of that. So they may just hang around at the boundaries of each community where is communities that are volatile, not just all the communities, and they know them. Okay. So the military is actually in order from our perspective.
All right.
They are in order.
All right. In this case, I'm still looking forward to the upcoming elections. There will be so many more interviews as regard this. Dr. Barrister Agbebaku, once again, thank you for coming to the studios. Thanks for the enlightenment. For the youths out there, well, you've heard it all. Do not be used by these political actors. Come Saturday, we hope that by God's grace, we're going to have a peaceful and fair election. Don't go away as the morning drive continues in just a moment. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned.